Hello everybody, my name is Pat Deal, and I'm sure you've seen me in the chat. I'm talking about printer problems. Oh no, not like that. I'm talking about newspaper printing. See, looking at all these original sources has got me thinking, how credible are these guys? You know, nowadays they talk a lot about fake news. And that's been a problem for a long time. Take, for instance, whenever the Seneca Indians slaughtered all those people between 1779 and 1782, some 1,045 people, 29 babies, ripped from their mother's wombs. Well, Ben Franklin said that he lied about all that. That was all a fabrication to get sympathy from the British Parliament. And Ben Franklin had a lot of people talking about how, as he advocated for paper money, he was printing a little bit of it on the side for himself. Getting back to the news. Ben Franklin printed a lot of news and a lot of letters to the editor. Letters he wrote himself as Silence Dogood, Busybody, Polly Baker, and Martha Careful. Long before satirical newspapers, Ben Franklin was making up stories out of whole cloth just for laughs. Well, things got awfully serious in 1798 when John Adams came up with the Alien and Sedition Act. He said a lot of poppycock about how it was supposed to keep out foreigners and have America for Americans, but in reality, whenever Luther Baldwin said that he'd like to see John Adams shot in the ass with a cannon, he was fined $100. That's a lot of money back then. And printing was hard work too. Printers had a lot of incentive to stay on the government's good side. The money that they got from subscriptions was not enough to keep them afloat, so they got most of their money from government contracts. They printed everything from Senate notes, laws, ballots. Maybe most importantly, they started printing campaign materials for their preferred party. John Quincy Adams complained, "One party reads the newspapers and pamphlets of its own church and interdicts all the writings of the opposing complexion." Things were getting pretty partisan, and John Quincy Adams brought the whole weight of the octopus down on Andrew Jackson, so he had to fight the Leviathan. And you know what? He came out on top. Jackson's response was to reward the printers of the newspapers who supported him with federal positions. Whereas before they were just rewarded with contracts, now they had clout. Yeah, the partisan lines were drawn. The Eastern industrial elites versus the frontier agrarian farmers. The industrialists had their puppet, a railroad lawyer from Illinois, with a frontier background, even taught himself to read by candlelight. Well, Lincoln used a system of tariffs to tax the South and reward those proceeds to his cronies in the railroad and steel industries. When war broke out, a newspaper printed a false proclamation of a draft. Lincoln had him arrested. He even said, "I want to end everything like free speech." It's no wonder that an actor blew his brains out. Altogether, Lincoln shut down 34 newspapers, and he put countless journalists into prisons like Andersonville, where dysentery and starvation were common. Well, all that's ancient history. Now we've got a very broad and diverse news landscape, so none of that's a problem for us anymore. Partisanship is a thing of the past. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. See you in class.